Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, B. How's it going?
Good morning. Good morning. It's going great. How you doing?
Good, 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 good. It's a
Good.
rainy, I'm gonna get it right. It's a rainy Friday morning, right?
It is. It is. It is. I didn't expect it to rain this morning. We kind of woke up with more of a surprise of rain, but I guess we just weren't looking at the weather. But that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I was told yesterday that it was supposed to rain today, but I didn't think to the degree that we've gotten it. So,
hmm
and
hmm
it's supposed to do it throughout the day. So I don't know. It might mess with our plans, huh?
No. Same here. Same here.
Yeah. Yeah. All
So,
right.
but
So
go ahead.
let's see who's rocking with us. Say
Mhm.
good morning. Great people. Say good morning.
How y'all doing? Who's in the chat? Who's in the chat with us?
I don't see anybody in there yet. Are we still on suspension? YouTube? I mean,
I'm trying to see if we are. Let's see here.
and while you're doing that, I will check. We just got somebody popped in. Good morning, Mike. Mike,
Big
hang
Mike.
tight. Yeah, Big Mike. What's happening in your world? Anything going on? Anything you want to share? Especially since you got the book. I was thinking about that this morning. Like, for those of you who have the book and you are reading it, whether particularly, I guess, before and while we're reading it, I think you all should share some of
Thoughts?
your
Yeah.
thought, yeah, as to what you get from it, because it may be different. You
hmm
know, some of it may be different. Your perception of it, the way you're perceiving it, the way that you're going to make it applicable in your life, may just be different. So, y'all share a little bit more. So, it's not all about how we are experiencing the message or internalizing it. So, y'all share some of that with us from time to time. But good morning to you. And Brandon, you want to try to give it a try over there?
Yeah. I just
And
put it through and
yeah,
sent you something.
see what they will let us do on
Let's
the
see.
big Instagram.
Let's see. Let's
Sad
see.
that we have to go through all this, but
I
it is
know,
what it
right?
is. Let it do what it do, but we ain't gonna let it do us. We just gonna do it.
hmm
That's what it takes to make it work. So, right?
That's
Sometimes you
it.
just
That's
have
it.
to flow with the flow. Okay, Brandon, let's see if they're gonna let us flow this morning.
All right, I'll give it a couple seconds to see. Um, let's see. All right.
Got my coffee. Y'all got y'all coffee? Oh, it's so good to
Nope, they saying I can't do it till the 4th of
good
June.
Lord.
I know there's some buttholes, but you know what? It's all good. It's all good. Um,
So since you can't go live, can someone share the video on your page?
yeah, they can share a video that I post and things like that.
No,
But
I'm saying can like they share on your page? See, I don't do Instagram, so I don't
mm-mm,
know how it all works. No? Okay.
no, no.
Okay. So I couldn't share a video on this video on your page if I was on Instagram.
Right, right. You can share it with me, but not directly to my page or anything like that. But it's all good.
Okay. Okay.
It's all good.
All right. Well, let's rock
They
with
they
it.
they don't- they don't want me to go live because I'll be telling people about how they bombing and doing stuff and unaliving babies overseas and stuff like that. And they don't want that to be the mainstay of media and things like that. But they can say whatever they want about black people, brown
Anything,
people,
everything.
anything and everything. They can say these folks can say whatever they want, and they people can say whatever they want. But when you look
Their
like me,
people.
look like you, yeah, the leash is very short when you're black and you're brown, but it gets super super long, and it ain't right unless it's white. So they let that leash go super long. Like people at jobs can get away with anything if they are of a certain ethnic group and their supervisors of the same ethnic group. But boy, don't let you be Mexican. Don't let you be black. Don't let you be African. That leash gets real short. That's why we need to build our own institutions, our own media sources, our own social medias, and not try to exist in the paradigm of the same. Not try to deconstruct the empire with the same with using the tools that built the empire and that maintain the empire. The empire will never give you the tools to deconstruct it and make something more equitable They will never give you those tools. They will never give people the tools to deconstruct that type of imperial empire. So that's it, though. That's my little rant. I ain't
Yeah.
worried.
True.
But anyway,
Unfortunately, in some, you're right. Unfortunately, in some, probably in all of my jobs, I've seen a bit of that. Maybe more on one than another, but I've certainly had my experience and share on both sides of it. To where the mind state or mindset that slavery has put us in causes us to fight one another as well, because
right,
we're missing the mark on where we are headed and how we are to get there. Right? It's dependent on people of another race and color. So we can't, as Jimmy said, we can't even live apart. So we can't live together. We can't
right,
work apart. So we can't work together. So we, including my sister and brother who looks like me and is fighting me, we end up fighting each other and the other ones too. So,
right. Exactly. It's that
so
competition.
yeah.
I've been reading the letter that you have, the book that I think you gave me on the Willie Lynch letter. It's
Hmm.
called The Letter. I have that in the room now, and been just flipping through it every now and then, just to see what other people and academics um, see in that letter and the correlation between some of its ripple effects to this day.
Yeah.
Whether you believe their letter was a historical or ahistorical document or not, I think the principles that apply, and that it did catch fire as far as like being published in different journals and newspapers and things like that. So whether it was an actual letter or some type of editorial, um, is 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 uh, is immaterial. But what is material is the impact that it had, and kind of the standard or the status quo or the bar that was set for among slave owners and even people who weren't slave owners in the way that they treated um, the descendants of the Africans who were brought over here, who were enslaved and kidnapped over here. So,
Mhm.
you know, all that to say that we exist in those same constructs of black, white, when those things prior to the foundation of America, the word black person or the references to white people did not exist. You were a nation. You were Spanish, or you were Italian, or you were Angolan, or you were Nigerian, or even before, I think Nigeria and how the countries were set up, Nigeria, Mali, Cameroon were all set up by European nations. The people in Africa did not set those borders. Those borders were set to divide the Bantu tribes. So it's just very interesting how the same colonial efforts that that were in Africa were brought over to the Americas, that are being brought over to the Middle East, that are being brought over to all these different indigenous places, and we cease or we neglect to see the common enemy of white supremacy or the elevation of any people over another people, because really we're all the same,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So until those black babies and Arab babies and Mexican babies have the same worth as those white babies, I will always be fighting, and I will always be diametrically opposed to Instagram and whoever else tries to shadow ban the truth tellers. So that's my spiel.
Brandon, I have to ask,
Mhm.
for those of you who said, when you say we're all the same, right? And for those of you who don't, I'm going to say don't believe that, and that your actions don't reveal that, who do you serve? Like, who do you really serve? So don't talk to me about God. Don't talk to me about Jesus when I see that you don't care about the person next to you in your home. So how could you care about somebody far, far away? You will
Mm.
pass someone that you know is broken and hurt, right? And willing. Don't get it mixed up with unwilling. I mean, we're kind of talking about two different things here. As people are in need, we see people dying and being killed, and we won't even whisper a prayer
Mm.
because they're not here, right? So before we get into this, Miss Brenda, has it been that long already? Like, today is it? Seems like you just mentioned this Y'all, time does not wait. It is not waiting on us.
Hmm.
This is her last day at FedEx.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it seems like that went really quick.
Go on, Miss Brenda.
So
Congratulations.
yeah,
Congratulations.
happy
What was it,
happy
25 years?
retirement. I
Was it
think
20
so,
years?
right?
25 years?
It's been quite a bit. I thought more than that. But Miss Brenda, how long has it been for you there? And are you going in today? How are you ending this day, this season? How are you ending this season? Because it's
Basically
not
how we
just the
how
day.
we celebrate, Miss
How we
Brenda.
start? How you starting the next season?
How we
40. That's what I
celebrate.
was saying. Yes, 40 years, Brandon.
40
40.
years. I
Because
Miss
remember, we
Brenda.
said. I think you said that's more than you. That's a lifetime.
Yeah.
That's more than your lifetime when she mentioned it.
Golly. Miss Brenda, how we celebrate. What we do is Friday too, Miss Brenda. What you got
Yeah,
going?
Miss Friday. That's a whole shedding. She's working now.
Golly.
So, all right. So
Okay,
let's get
okay.
into it so we can, y'all, we need to
All
take
right.
her out and
All
do
right.
something for these 40 years.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Daily motivations for African American success. What is it? What's it about? Um, why are we looking into this book? So on in February of 2024, I started back reading Daily Motivations for African American Success, and I was sharing some of the insights and some of the things that I had learned from the book, or just some of the writings were about. And I asked my mom, we should do a show. And she said, "What, really? You do it?" I said, "Yep, we should do it for Black History Month." And so we did. We launched. She already had the end of season podcast, and then we launched this Daily Motivations for African American Success. Reading through that book with Dennis Kimbro, and it was so valuable to us. It was so useful to us that we decided to keep it going for what was going to be 28 days, and now we're at 121 days. So thank you all who have been here for every show, or for the majority of the shows, or even just one of the shows. We want to say that we appreciate you. We hope that you invite others, and we hope that you keep coming. So, a little bit about daily motivation for African American success. This will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals. In 365 short, powerful motivations, one for each day of the year, Dennis Kimbro, author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year. What it teaches will last you a lifetime. So every day we go through the title, the quote from the distinguished African American, and the passage that it gives, detailing and highlighting different attributes of success and characteristics that are found in successful people. So we have one for every single day of the year. We share that, repeat the affirmations, share our insights, see what y'all talking about if y'all got any insights. So y'all make sure to enter that chat and let us know what you think, and then we get our butts out of here. So y'all ready to start? Actually, Mom, do you have anything? Because I have to use the restroom a little bit. I need to
Ain't that keeping it real?
keeping it 1,000 with you. I'll be right back.
All right, all right. So I don't have anything. So what I'll do, well, y'all know I can pull some words out. Let's talk. How about that? Do
Okay,
what nature calls
I'll
you
be
to
right back.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, if
I'll
that
be
ain't a
drinking too much
serious
water.
kind, I'll just take you out. Don't worry about it. Just move you out and then move you back in.
Okay.
Hurry. We
Okay.
don't want you to need a potty. Um, Let me just move him out and I'll bring him back in. So I see, Mike, you said that the book has helped you through your journey in life. It's inspirational quotes that I reflect on. Um, Tell me something, and I'll tell y'all while we wait on. I was kind of skimming over this, and I thought about Miss Brenda, with it being the end. I don't know if you've read this one, Miss Brenda. I read it this morning when I got up, and as I was looking through it, as Brandon was reading it, I thought about this is timely. I feel it's timely for you, especially the affirmation. So I don't know. Um, I don't know if you've read it, so I won't give that part away. But I will say this, you guys. Brandon mentioned that when he came to me and saying we should do something, I've been trying to get Brandon on with me for quite a while. And for whatever reason, he, I guess, just maybe didn't have the time, wasn't really ready. But there's probably not a morning that doesn't go by to where I don't reflect upon kind of like what we mentioned yesterday. Things happen to us, and then there's things that happen for us, right? And I often look out at Brandon and say, wow, if some of the things had not happened in our lives, in both of our lives, especially his, we would not be here today. We would not be here on this platform every day coming to you. And it's not easy. Like this morning, it was a challenge to get up and move today because I've been going. So what I did this morning was I laid there a little bit longer. I took the time. I took care of myself. Like, okay, Tammy, you can sleep you can sleep another hour and still make it to the barbecue. Still get the food ready, right? So I listened to my body, my mind, my spirit, and I did that without conviction, without feeling like, oh, um, I got to do this, I got to do this. So, and I still made it happen. I still made it happen. So, I'm telling you guys, and Miss Brenda, 40 years, y'all, 40 years. That's commitment, that's consistency. And she's still young and got her whole life ahead of her. Her school days. She has some more school days, as we talked about a few days ago. Right? So this book is my best friend now, like Brandon said, my best friend right now. And it's the opportunity came at the right time because I was ready for it. I was willing. I'm willing, right? So, Brandon, did you take care of all of your business? Because I'll have us here to 8 o'clock if you don't stop.
Yeah, no, I'm all good. I'm all good.
Ain't that funny, y'all? This is what kind of podcast this is. In this season, we got pee.
Hey,
And we gotta go, right? You can't fight that. You just gotta go.
I'm just as human as the next one of y'all,
Yeah, exactly. So why pretend like something? Just go do what you gotta do,
man.
baby.
I'll
Announce
be on
it.
the interview on CNN and be like, "Hey, can y'all go to a commercial?" I'm dead serious. But
Tis the season, right? Tis the
it's the
season.
season. If you like you said, if you control yourself, basically, if you created yourself, and you don't believe, then make yourself not have to go to the restroom. Make yourself not blink. Make yourself stop your heart. Without killing yourself. You know what I mean? God forbid. So you can't. So why even try, right? Why even try to fake it, y'all? So on this May 31st, last day of May, welcome y'all. We made it to the end of another month. We should really be grateful for the fact that we woke up this morning and that we made it through another month. There's only so many months involved in it that are in a person's life. So we made it to the end of another one. Let's make sure that we reflect about it, see the good, the bad, and what can we learn from this past month. I think there have been some great lessons, not just in this book, but I'm sure, in your life like it has been in mine. So use some time today while it's, if you're in Memphis, it's a little rainy today. It's a great time to ponder, to sit, be still, and reflect. Okay? No rushing today. Let's reflect today. All right? So today, on this May 31st, the title is I've Got to Hand It to You. I've got to hand it to you. And the quote comes from Reginald Lewis, who is an entrepreneur. And he said, the difference between luck and ability is time. The difference between luck and ability is time. Okay? Are you disenchanted with the hand that life has dealt you? Then change those circumstances to some more favorable. Your destiny lies within your hands. Perhaps a parable will help you see my point. High on a hilltop, overlooking the beautiful countryside of East Africa, lived an old man whose wisdom was sought by many. Legend has it that he could answer any question anyone might ask of him. Two young boys believed they could fool the old sage, so they caught a small bird and headed for his home. One of the boys held the little bird in his hand and asked the old man if the bird was dead or alive. Without hesitation, the old man said, "Son, if I say to you that the bird is alive, you will close your hand and crush it to death. If I say the bird is dead, you will open your hands and let it fly away. You see, my son, in your hands you hold the power of life and death." When applied to your life, this parable has a much deeper message. Within your hands lie the seeds of failure or the potential for greatness. You are capable of achieving your heart's desire, and the qualities that are necessary for such an accomplishment lie within you at this very moment. Believe that you have been placed on earth for a purpose, and as you fulfill your purpose, you are shaping your own life, your own destiny. Make sure your future is in capable hands. And the quote for today, or the affirmation for today, excuse me, the affirmation for today that we read for you, me, and the person that you're going to send this to 3 times total is: you can always find a helping hand at the end of your sleeve. You can always find a helping hand at the end of your sleeve. And last time, you can always find a helping hand where? At the end of your own sleeve. Help yourself. All right? All right, guys. What you got, Mama?
Oh, well, let's see. All right. You know how we talked about the heart, like just feeling our heartbeat,
Hmm.
just feeling it. Let's use something else today. Our hands. Let's just be in awe about having hands. Right. I've got to hand it to you. Right
Hmm.
there, you can always find a helping hand at the end of your sleeve. Your sleeve. So often we think we need people, and we need people, like in the sense of being connected. But I can't connect with you if I haven't first connected with myself, right? I've got to hand it to you, right? When I hand it to you, it should be something that I got from you to help me know what I need to hand to you to help you. Because I can't figure that out for you. I can try, but guess what? If you are not in your space, even my trying without wisdom and knowledge is going to be wrong for you,
Mm.
because it's going to come from my own perspective and perception, right? Of what you need. And in most cases, those people who are trying to read your book hadn't written theirs. Remember, I said that yesterday, right? So I've got to hand it to you. The difference between luck and ability is time. And didn't we just have one? Yeah, we did, about the opportunity.
Meeting
Uh,
preparation.
Remember, luck is opportunity meeting up with preparation. It says luck is, and this one, but the difference between luck and ability is time. And I take that to mean this, Brandon. Are you pushing forward no matter what? They say time heals all things. Y'all have heard that before?
Hmm.
Have you been in love, love, love with somebody that thought you was gonna die when you lost them, right? You're no longer together, right? And now
Yeah.
you barely even think about them. Where did the love go? It went away with the time.
I think we had something in the book that said that too, didn't it? That time the healer, the master of all healers, or something like that, a couple of days ago.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
The greatest
So
of
I
all
take
healers.
I take luck and ability is time, right? So if you have the ability to push forward, to use those two things at the end of your sleeve. And some people don't have. You were mentioning a guy who didn't his arm was cut off at the
Oh yeah, King
elbow.
Nub. Yeah, at the elbow.
King
He a
Nub.
he a pro MMA fighter.
Right. King Nub has one hand, one hand at one of those, at the bottom of one of those sleeves, at the end of the sleeve, right? What did he do? He didn't let it stop him.
Exactly.
He kept having the ability.
Mama,
So
I've been hit with the nub.
and it feels like a hand, right?
Man, it doesn't feel
So
like a
he's using what God has given him. Your destiny lies within your hands. And before I turn it over to you, Brandon, it's interesting to me. It says two young boys believed they could fool the old sage. Two young boys believed they could fool the old sage. So they caught a small bird and headed for his home. This is where it gets interesting to me. All right. He says, son, if I say to you that the bird is alive, you will close your hands and crush it to death. Why, you guys? Because he says, if I said it's alive, you would think he'd say, you know, it's cool, you'll let it go, right? But they wanted to fool the old man. So they wanted to serve their ego. So if he said it was alive, they were gonna kill it so they could be right.
right.
And there are people in your life who are like these two young people. They want to bring you a bird and sell you a story. Is it alive or is it dead? If you say it's alive, if you say what's in you is alive, they want to kill that spirit. So tell your abilities to the right people,
And if you say
right?
it's dead, they'll say it's your fault that it's dead.
Right, right.
Or that,
You
or
killed it. Cause
Mhm.
see, they want to be right. They're not doing the work. And that's why they will laugh at you. Who's laughing now? They'll laugh at you because they're crying inside. And they want you to cry too. So they want to be right. And however they come to you, they're going to make sure that they are. That's why you have to be on your game, your abilities. You have to be laughing. You have to be like, why you laughing at me? Dude, I ain't in the room that you laughing at me in. I left a long time ago. Why are you still there? I'm out. I'm gone. I'm doing my thing. I'm living my dream, my purpose. Right. So I just thought it was interesting that the wise man said, son, if I say to you that the bird is alive, you will close your hands and crush it to death. Then he says, if I say that the bird is dead, this fool, he didn't say that. You'll open your hands and let it fly away. Imagine that. Imagine the thought process of the two young boys. The only thing is, we're dealing with two adults in our lives. Most times, the people who are coming to us trying to sell us this story are adult people who are trying to kill our dream, our ability to do so, who are trying to tie our hands at the end of our sleeves together because they want you to stay where you are. But I've got to hand it to you. Your destiny lies within your hands. I can tell you that, but if you're not willing, and if you don't know that, and if you don't believe that, and if you don't serve the one true God, that won't even help you. So over to you, Brandon.
Thanks, Mom. I honestly feel like you hit just about everything. Um, but the difference between luck and ability is time, right? So how many times do you try for it? Do you give up on the first one?
Mm,
Um, or do you go time and time and time again, right? If God told you that there's water there, I think about the what's her name in the Bible? Hagar,
mhm.
right? The um the wife of Abraham, right? There was Sarah and Hagar, I believe. And Hagar was an Egyptian woman, a black woman. And when Sarah, I believe, could not bear children, she let she told Abraham, take the you know the servant girl that was gifted to us from Egypt, and produce children for yourself, heirs for yourself. And God ended up blessing them with a son, Ishmael, and then also blessing Sarah with a son, Ishak or Isaac. And then Sarah became kind of jealous and wanted to banish Hagar away. And so they sent Hagar away to a distant land, right? And she had to go. She basically was going back and forth, not knowing where they would find water. And God had told her to go and dig here, and then to try to find water in these places. She went back and forth and back and forth, and finally she found a well. Right now, would you do that? Would you be able to go back and forth to the same place if you knew your purpose was there to find that well? And that well ended up making them very, very rich in the end, as it being a place where merchants and travelers got water as they went by, and they ended up building a city there, and that city is Mecca today. It's called Becca in the Bible, but it's Mecca today, where the Muslims go. And but would you be willing to spend the time that it takes to develop that ability, despite your setbacks, despite having one hand, right? Despite the naysayers, despite the people coming to you trying to fool you, right? Are you the sage? Which person are you in this story, right? Because some of us are the boys. Are you that? Do you think that you're the sage? Do you think you're the wise one, or could you be the boy? And if you are the boy, then can you retract that and develop better character qualities, to where the energy that you spend trying to fool someone or to fool yourself, you put into hard work, dedication, and preparation for your purpose. Hand it to yourself. You put a bird, this guy put a bird in his hand, right? And he could have handed it to himself. You see what I'm saying? So I see the metaphor of the hand here. I've got to hand it to you.
Right.
And they put the bird in the hand. And in that hand, he had the ability to either crush that bird or free that bird. But that same hand first captured the bird. That hand didn't have a right or any reason to kill the bird or to capture the bird. Then for what? Their own joy, pleasure, and what's the right word? Just their own entertainment,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This is a life.
Yeah.
And they captured it for their entertainment, for their petty gains. Much like some of our leaders use human capital
Ego.
for war. They'll send people to wars, or they'll do little social bosses at jobs will do social experiments just to mess with you. Oh, I see how they think. They think they get into whatever, or oh, I don't like how they did that. And it'll be a personal thing. And now we're letting our personalities get in the way of our mission. Right? So who are you handing it to? Are you handing yourself to someone else? Are you giving your hands to someone else? Just like Mom, yesterday we were talking, and was it yesterday? I think so. No, yesterday, the day before, where we were mentioning the fact
Breakfast.
that
Yesterday.
yeah,
No.
it's
Day
the day
before.
before
Day
yesterday.
before.
You already see, y'all. Mama already know what I'm about to say, y'all. We ain't even I just thought about it. Like she don't know what I'm about to say, but she know that it was the day before. But how many hours will we give to our jobs? How much of our time will we hand, right? I gotta hand it to you, right? The difference between luck and ability is time. What is it about this time? Are we handing it to somebody else? Are we handing it to institutions that don't serve us? Are we handing it to 40-hour work weeks where if we were paid what they owed us, we wouldn't have a job? Because it would be a wash, right?
Think about Miss Mary, who
Oh,
was there 25 years, and then
yeah.
they were the reason she hurt her leg. And when she was able to come back, they wanted her to go on night shift. Like, think about that. That's why you have to be like,
That's
I
why I
got,
said 25 years. It was Miss
yeah,
Mary, not Miss Brandon.
yeah.
So,
And Miss Brenda, think about 40 years times 40 hours a week. And you probably gave him more than 40 hours a week. So, and I got to say it because I thought about it, Brandon, when you were talking. I don't want to forget it. Miss Brenda, just because Miss Brenda, you really seem like a stand up person, human being. Be as good to yourself
mm,
as you were to them.
as consistent.
As consistent, as good, as faithful, that the job is going to pay you, because sometimes that's why we want to start their own business, because we think, okay, this is a sure thing. It's not, because somebody up there is worried about payroll, just like we would worry about payroll if it were our own business. So
Hmm.
Miss Brenda, I told you, I thought this one was for you. You start this new, let your first day of school in this next season be from your hands, right? We gotta hand it to you today. Go do your thing. Go be a freshman again and get that PhD in your purpose.
Mm,
Because
mm,
40
mm.
years, man, I'm telling you, 40 years. And Brandon, also, real quick, if I might say, these were young boys. Two young boys believed they wanted to, or that they could fool the old sage. Old sage is such as a profound philosopher, distinguished for wisdom, a mature and venerable person of sound judgment. Sound judgment. Y'all, let's be some old sages today. And for the rest of our days on this side of the earth. Where you can't, cuz these are young boys bringing birds. These old cats in your life, they ain't bringing you birds to try to get you off of your game. See, they slick with it, right? So you have to be an old sage. You have to see that they're coming before they get there. You have to open the door or answer the phone, be like, I knew you was gonna call. I knew you was coming. But bro, you don't even know. I'm an old sage now, distinguished for wisdom for things like this. I'm mature. I'm of sound judgment and of a sound mind. Don't come in here with no bird. Matter of fact, don't come in here with nothing, because I'm not going to make the decision for you. And me making it for you is you making it for me. So I'm not going to tell you if it's alive, if it's dead. You brought it to me. If you don't know, how do you think I do? I didn't pick the bird up,
Right.
so I
You
ain't
must
going to
be
give it
asking
back.
me for nefarious reasons
Right,
if you bought me the bird. Like,
right.
here's the thing: is like the old sage knows that. Why would you bring me a bird and ask me if it's alive or not? And it's in your hands. It's in your hands. What only a fool would externalize something that they already know. So it's
Yeah,
already a waste of time. And as a sage, you would probably know that, right?
yeah,
But getting back to the wasting of time or the misusement, the mismanagement of time, are you willing to give yourself, whether if it's in retirement, give yourself the same type of work ethic, that same type of timeliness of being on time for yourself, the same amount of wake up, get up, and go, the same type of resilience to work through troubling or trying situations. You know, are you willing to work with your family the way that you might have had to work with a supervisor, right? And be patient with them, right? How many attributes, and this honestly, y'all, reminds me again of that Nikki Giovanni um, and James Baldwin conversation, right? Where she was like, "You go out there and you fake it with all of them. You go out there and fake it with them boss that boss of yours at work, smiling, shucking, and jiving, and acting nice, and then you come home and I gotta catch hell." You know, she said, "Lie to me, be nice to me." Basically, like, come home and fake it with me. Be nice. You know, basically, don't bring the burdens of the world in the house and give them all to me. And you giving them all the giving them the long end of the stick and giving me the short end of the stick, giving them the best of you, the most of your patience, the most of your time, the most of your perseverance and your timeliness and your attention to detail. And
mm,
then when you come home, you ain't got it. You know, and I'm speaking to myself first, because boy, it's easy to go out here and work yourself to death and then come home and have nothing left, right? So how much can we dedicate to ourselves, to our own purposes, our own needs, our own families? Are we willing to give that much more for what we perceive is insecure, which is focusing and depending on ourselves? But at the end of the day, whose head fits on your shoulders besides your own? When you eat, does somebody else go use the restroom? To take it back to this morning, right?
Hmm.
No, they don't. What you eat don't make me. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's and so my time isn't their time. My time is in the control of my hands. When I die, I will enter that grave alone. When I was born, I entered this world alone, right? So it's in my hands. It's in your hands. Can you dedicate yourself? Can you prepare yourself and dedicate yourself for the opportunities that are coming up? Have you missed out on opportunities because you were giving your time and your energy to someone else's gamble?
So I
Because just
will.
like you say, it's a gamble to start your own business, right? Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure, it's a risk. There's risks that's associated, but there's also a risk that's associated with working for FedEx, which is a great job for Miss Brenda. 40 years, congratulations. For UPS, they lay people off all the time. People that have been working there for years get laid off, right? Fred Smith don't care. He's just trying to get that next, not that next M, that next billion. He is straight. So you are letting someone else, right? And this is not for everyone. This is for the people that have they think their purpose is outside of that construct. And it may be some people's purpose is to do that, and that is perfectly fine. If you can build a beautiful life and do that. But what I'm saying is that inside of this hyper capitalistic system that we have, people are undoubtedly exploited for financial gain by corporations. We know this, guys. We know this. This is why the food costs more, but the value of it is less. The nutrition in it and the nutritional value in it is less. We get less for more, right? So are we willing to take that same chance on ourselves and not let the CEO take chances on our payroll or on our dime? So it's in your hands, guys. That's all I really have for you today. Think about who are you inside of this story? Are you the one of the two young boys? Are you the sage? Or are you the people that would just go visit the sage, and not try to trick them? Are you seeking wisdom, from your elders without trying to trick them, trying to trip them? Are we looking back into the older generation and saying, hey, what can I learn from you? As opposed to a competition on, I'm going to do it better than you. Because sometimes I see intergenerational competition where the older generation is talking about the younger generation, and the younger generation is talking about the older generation, saying about what those young folks don't know, or what those old folks are too cynical to see. When really we should be listening to each other, because all those points, I'm sure, are valid. And even if they aren't, there's something that we can learn from each other. So who are you inside of this story? And do you realize just how much the helping hand is at the end of your own sleeve? So that's all I have, Mom.
I think that's all I have too, you guys. I gotta hand it to you. That's all. Just gotta hand it to you, and I think we did today. We handed it to you. So, Miss Brenda, you go be great. Congratulations, and we will honor you at the Daily Motivations for African American Success barbecue that we're gonna
Mama,
have here at the house.
yeah.
Barbecue here at the house.
Can
So
Jimmy
she
put on
says, well,
some of them
actually,
steaks, Mama?
huh?
Can Jimmy put some of them steaks on though?
Yeah, we can make that work. We're going out.
Out,
So
oh
Miss Brenda
man.
says, actually, Brandon, when Fred Smith was running the company, his policy was no layoffs. He is no longer running the company. I think it's his son, right? Is Miss
Yeah,
Brenda?
yeah, I think
I
so.
think it's his son running it. Yeah, there. I've heard
Fred is
people that
actually a
work.
good guy.
He's a good guy.
He
Yeah,
he he
I've
he
heard.
would he would he would be kind of upset with me if he heard me say that in that light. But I'm just saying that he because we know each, but I don't. At the same time, it's a huge corporation. And I do have certain issues with it, but I would with any. with any large corporation like that because of how it has to be. But yeah, I think he's a good dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I've
Yes, I
heard
do.
people that work there, who feel the shift of his absence. And it
Right.
goes back to he's older, um, more wise, and then you have the young one come in. Okay. So, okay, she says his son is not running the company. I
It's
thought it was his son. Was it for a while that he was? She says is it Rage? Is that RA? Is not run is now running the company. Okay. Okay.
what is that? Let me see. Oh,
Oh,
Raj,
Raj. Okay.
Raj.
Raj. I
Okay.
don't know who that is. Well, nonetheless, hey, not in your hands now because you got some new hands on, a new shirt on, new sleeves, and you going to do your thing. So, all right, Brandon, let's get out
FedEx,
of
what's
here.
next?
Yeah, what's next? FedEx, what's next?
Hmm.
NEX.
Yep.
FedEx, what's next, Miss Brenda? Brush
What's
it off,
next,
Miss
Miss Brenda?
Brenda. Yeah, what's next? What's
Miss
next?
Brenda, Miss Brenda, I want to ask Miss Brenda something. What do you like to do, Miss Brenda? What do you like to do? Like, what tickles you pink? What do you like to, what gives you joy? Reading, going bowling, walks in the park, going out to eat. What is it?
All
She
right,
probably
as
gonna say,
we
she probably gonna say when people call me back, because I swear y'all owe Miss Brenda a call. I'm
She
sorry, Miss Brenda,
is
just
like
having
his
so much
mama.
going.
Brandon, when you get off this, call Miss Brenda,
I
or
am.
at least text her.
I will. I have so much to do. So much.
I
I hate
know.
that. I ain't gonna say I hate that it's raining, but Lord, I had so much stuff to do today.
Maybe God is saying because you don't rest. Sometimes, y'all, I'm telling, and I got to tell y'all my two words. Well, it's really just one word that I put in front of anything that, like these two little boys would have got this word.
Y'all don't
So
want to hear it. Y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all don't
just
want to
think about what they have this session on DL Hughley's show, where people get to say something to him. Anything that ain't serving me right now. And I said it, and I serving me right now and where I'm going in my purpose. That's what I tell it. Whether it's a person, it could be a moment where somebody's trying to bring me two birds. Mm-mm. And it makes me laugh. It gets me through. It gets me the anxiety off of me of dealing with them or the issue. And then I come back. But how we gonna start out is with them that word and whatever.
hear it. That sixth letter of the alphabet.
And I did it. And when I started doing it, I just laughed. I was like, oh my gosh, it felt so good. It feels good. So I just like, you know. But she says, I love spending time with family and friends, movies, and going out to eat. Okay. What's your favorite
Well,
restaurant?
it sounds like a barbecue. Family, friends,
'Cause
going to get something to eat.
she
Sound like Miss
also
Brenda
loves
want a barbecue.
music.
Mm.
Hmm. Do you like to dance? We turning this to the Brenda Davis show. Come
I
on. Do you
know.
like to
We
dance?
got to
And then we'll
celebrate
get
her
off
though.
of
40
here.
years.
Yeah. She says, I love music. Did y'all know that the library has, well, it may be over now, or maybe it's just starting. They have the jazz at the library. I think it's the library or somewhere. I'll find out where they go. They have light jazz where you just kind of sit and listen to it. And because I love music too, but I also love to dance, and I haven't gone
Mm.
dancing in quite a long time. Woo.
That
So
would be fun, Mom. We go dancing.
yeah, go out and just like do line dancing and something like that. We need a good wholesome place where you can just kind of go and have fun, relax, good food, good energy. So
All right.
all right. So
Well, we're
I
gonna
didn't
get
hear
out of
back
here, y'all.
about the dancing. Yeah, she I know she's working, so y'all we'll let her off the hook today, and we'll find out when we have the barbecue, the
It's
real
the last day.
barbecue.
What they gonna do? Fire her? It's the last day. Do what you want, Miss Brenda. Ain't nobody worry about no FedEx and Rod Subramanian or whatever his name is.
Brandon, you stupid.
What they gonna do?
What are they gonna do? Fire? Make her come in one more day?
Brenda, you
Stay
take
late,
you an extra long break today, Miss Brenda, and I
Miss
want you to
Brandon. You here, Brandon?
walk in there
I'm
with your
looking at her
head high.
picture with
Take you
that
an hour and
beautiful
a half.
smile.
Take you an hour and a half long lunch. You know what I'm saying? You don't even smoke. Go take a smoke break.
She says, I used to dance but have fell off. I plan on going to some of the line dancing classes at the library and senior citizen centering sisters. Real talk for Black women by Black women. All right. All
All right,
right.
Miss Brandon. All right. Well,
Miss
y'all,
Brenda got a plan. She's got her hands ready and
she
willing.
got both hands. You know,
Yeah.
she got a hands it to her. Two
Yeah.
hands. All
She's
right, y'all.
handing it to us.
All
All right,
right, y'all.
Brandon, do
Well,
your do.
I will thank y'all so much for rocking with us again on this 121st day of the In the Season podcast. Thank you for being with us, for coming. If you've been here for multiple shows or just one show or just a minute, we appreciate you. We invite you to go to the YouTube channel. Please go to the YouTube channel and support this page by liking, clicking the subscribe button, and adding something to the comments and sharing these videos. We don't get paid anything for this, but please go get the book for your own sake and for participation in this. We would love for you to read along as we read these passages. And so before I get into the ending of this, just wanted to say thank y'all again, because it really does mean a lot for you guys to be here every morning. But again, this is on May 31st. Our title was "I Got to Hand It to You." And our quote comes from Reginald Lewis, an entrepreneur who said, "The difference between luck and ability is time." And after the reading of a passage about this old sage whose wisdom was sought by many, two boys came in and tried to trick him by asking a question about a bird that they captured. Is it alive or is it dead? Trying to trick him. And he gave them an answer that only a sage could give. And by the end of it, the last line was, "Make sure your future is in capable hands." And it was followed up by the affirmation that we read 3 times, one for me, one for you, and one for the person that you're going to invite to the barbecue. And it says, you can always find a helping hand at the end of your sleeve. You can always find a helping hand at the end of your sleeve. Your sleeve, no one else's. You know, you can always, for the last time, say it out loud. You can always find a helping hand at the end of your sleeve. All right, that's all we got for you today, but we will be right back here tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, with another installment of the In This Season podcast with your host, the beautiful Butterfly, my mother, and then myself. So thank y'all again so much. Again, go buy the book. Amazon.com has it, Barnes and Nobles, whatever. Daily Motivations for African American Success. This is what it looks like. Let me know if you've got it, and we're going to get to planning this barbecue, y'all. Y'all take care. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Peace, 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 peace.